There's so many firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last...
Here we go as we're about to start Game 2 of this doubleheader series against Central Michigan University Chippewas and your Adrian College Bulldogs. It's like pitching today on the mound. That is Kayla Doney. Now, I'm not quite sure what's going on. And now she hands the ball to the actual pitcher, Taylor Campbell. As she will face Skylar Covelli to start things off. Now the actual first pitch is in there for a called strike. As it looked like that was a ceremonial first throw from Doney. And we are underway. 0-1. Swing and a high pop fly. And that will be caught by Schuster to start things off here in Game 2. And now Megan Georgi. Swing and a miss. Megan Georgi is a junior from Troy, Michigan. Here's the pitch from Campbell. Check swing. She did not go, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. One out here in the first. Just the start of things here in Game 2, the 1-1. Swing and a high fly ball to right center. And that is going to get down for a hit. And Georgi will go to second with a double. As she's aboard for the first hit here in Game 2. Now here's Daniela Duchemin. As I would also like to address that earlier. Apparently that was the wrong roster that I had, so we apologize for any incorrect naming that you heard earlier. As that's a strike on Duchemin. 0-1. Swung on and missed. And Campbell is not messing around. She is going right after Duchemin. Only one out here in the first. Now the 0-2. Right back to the mound. as Campbell makes the play. Now here's Ashley Goodlew. First pitch to Goodhue. Ground ball. That's a base hit to left center. Here comes the runner around third. The throw will be not in time. Georgi scores. And the Chippewas take a 1-0 lead here in Game 2 on an RBI single by Ashley Goodhue. That'll bring up Lillian Obert, the junior from Waterford, Michigan. Hits one to right field. Going back is Sobdi, and that's going to be off the wall. And another run will try to come score, and the throw is cut off. That's an RBI double from Lillian Obert. Now here's Melanie Hall. Back up the middle, base hit. And the runner will hold at third. The Chippewas will have runners at the corners with 2 outs as they have a 2-0 lead to start Game 2. And that's a lot of 2s that I just said. Now here's Bryn Cole, the catcher for the Chippewas. Runners going, and no throw to second, and that'll be a stolen base for Melanie Hall. As the Chippewas have runners at third and second. Here's the 1-0. That's ball 2. Now the 2-0. Low and in the dirt. Good block by Caitlin Sneed. Two outs here in the first. Chippewas have a 2-0 lead. Here's a 3-0. Ball 4 and the bases will be loaded. Now the bases are loaded for JC. JC, it's a ground ball foul down the third base line. There's JC Hance. She is playing shortstop today here in Game 2. Hance has a base hit to left. 2 more runs are going to score. It is now 4-0 in favor of the Chippewas. Now here's Brenna Simmons, the left fielder. Chippewas have 4 runs and 5 hits to start this game. That's ball 1, low and outside from Campbell. Here's the 1-0. That one's hit to right field. It's on its way to Nicolay. It is gone, a home run. A 3-run shot for Brenna Simmons. A 3-run home run. It is now 7-0 here in the first inning. as they're now having a visit on the mound. As the Chippewas have more runs than they do hits. As we are already back at the top of the lineup. And Skylar Covelli, who popped out earlier, will take her second at-bat here in the first inning. Shows bunt. That's going to be ball one. 2 outs. Here's the 1-0 from Campbell. And she drops down a bunt. Sneed will pick it up, but the umpire will call it foul. One and one on Covelli. Here's the pitch from Campbell. That's in the dirt. As your starters for defense for the Bulldogs, Bell, Glumbowski, and Sadie in the outfield. Little flare to right. That's going to drop in for a hit. Doney and Holmes on the corners, third and first, respectively. Schulster at short, Grady at second. Sneed behind the plate, and Campbell on the mound. As Megan Georgi already making her second at bat. And the runner's going, and no throw. That's going to be a stolen base for Covelli. A ball and a strike on Megan Georgi. It has been a 7-0 lead, and it's only the first inning. Here's a high pop-up. That's going to be caught by Schuster to end the inning. 7 runs, 6 hits, no errors, but 1 left. As we will now go to the bottom of the first inning. Chippewas 7, Bulldogs coming to bat. And we are back as we're now at the bottom of the first inning. For those of you that missed it, the Chippewas had a phenomenal first inning as they scored 7 runs, including a 3-run home run by Brenna Simmons. As pitching for the Chippewas is Daniela Duchemin. And leading things off for the Bulldogs is Elizabeth Grady. Duchemin is a 5th-year senior from Newaygo, Michigan. And starting in defense for the Chippewas, Simmons, Corvelli, and Giorgi in the outfield. Left, center, and right. Obert at third, Hance at short. Hall at second. Goodhue at first, and that's a high fly ball to left. That'll be caught by Simmons for out number 1. Goodhue is playing first. Bryn Cole catching behind the plate, and Duchemin on the mound. Here's Lita Glombowski, one of our seniors. First pitch to Glombowski. She hits it up the middle. Base hit. And the Bulldogs will have their first hit and base runner here in Game 2. That's going to bring up Caitlin Sneed. As back in Game 1, the Chippewas won it 20-12. And here's Caitlin Sneed, the senior from Adrian. First pitch to her, she hits a grounder to third. Obert to second, and that's all they'll get. As Sneed will reach first on a fielder's choice. So here's Allie Bell, the left fielder. As she will bat with 2 outs with a runner at first. As we will have a pinch runner for Sneed. First pitch to Bell. Breaking ball misses outside. If Bell shall reach, Doney waits her turn on deck. Here's the 1-0. Ball 2. Two outs here in the bottom of the first. Duchemin trying to make quick work. The 2-0. Swinging along with the left. It'll go foul out of play. 2 balls and a strike on Bell. With 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Here's the 2-1. That is in there, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A runner at first. Chippewas have a 7-0 lead. Here's a 2-2. Swing and a high pop fly. And that's going to be caught by Obert for out number 3. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. As now we will go to the second inning. Chippewas lead 7-0. This is the home of Adrian College Sports. Chippewas lead 7-0 as we go to the top of the second. As Duchemin will take her second at bat here in game 2. First pitch to her, she hits one to left center. That's going to be a base hit, maybe more. She's on her way to second, and she will make it. As DeChemin on the first pitch has a double. So here's Ashley Goodhue. Had an RBI double in the first. As we're going to get a pinch runner. We'll have a pinch runner come in for DeChemin. That is Shannon at second, pinch running. So here's Goodhue as she takes a strike from Taylor Campbell. Just the start of things here in the top of the second. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Nobody out just yet. Here's the 1-1 from Campbell. That's into right center, and that's going to drop for a base hit. And Shannon will go to third, and she will stay there. And the Chippewas have runners on the corners with nobody out. So here's Lillian Obert, who caught the last out in the bottom of the first, will take her second at bat in game 2. Outside, ball 1. And Goodhue will advance to second as she has a stolen base. One and 0. Low and in the dirt. Good block by Sneed. Nobody out just yet here in the second. Chippewas have runners at both in scoring position, third and first. 2-0 from Campbell. In there on the outside corner for a strike. Here's the 2-1. That is way high and outside. 3-1 on Obert. Melanie Hall waits her turn on deck. Three balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. That's ball 4, and for the second inning in the row, the bases have been loaded. Or should I say the second? This has at least been the second game in a row with where the bases have been loaded. Here's Melanie Hall. First pitch to her. Hall with a check swing, and that's strike 1. Oh and 1 on Hall. Hall swings and misses. That's strike 2. Nobody out, bases loaded. 0-2. And she hits a high fly ball to left. And Bell makes the catch. Runner tags. Here's the throw to the plate. And the runner is safe. And the Chippewas lead 8-0. That's a sacrifice fly RBI for Melanie Hall. Now here's Bryn Cole. on the outside corner for a called strike. Only one out here in the bottom of the second. The Chippewas make it 8-0. 0-1. Grounder to third. That's a foul ball. Count 0-2 on Cole. And that is foul tipped. She just got a piece of that one. Here again is the 0-2. And a little pop-up. That's going to drop foul. That's outside. A ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside, count is even at 2-2. Now the 2-2. Swing and a fly ball to left. Going back is Simmons. She makes the catch, and the runner will tag again. And Good Blue scores. And the runner will advance to third. It's now 9-0 Chippewas here in the second inning. That'll bring up J.C. Hance, who singled in the first and scored on the 3-run home run by Simmons. That was a good catch in left field by Bell. Oh and 1 from Campbell. 0-2. Grounder to third. That's a foul ball. 2 outs now here in the second. Chippewas lead 9-0. Two outs. Here's the 0-2. Here's a fly ball to center field, and that will be caught by Glombowski to end the inning. But the Chippewas add on to their lead, scoring 2 runs on 2 sacrifice fly RBIs as they lead 9-0 over the Bulldogs as we go to the bottom of the second inning. We'll be right back right after this. We are back now. It is now bottom of the second inning. Bottom of the second now is Kayla Doney. One of our seniors takes her first at bat in game 2. Doney takes a strike on the outside corner from DeChemin. One up, one down here in the second. Here is Jocelyn Schuster, the shortstop. Will bat with one out and nobody on. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's outside, and the count is even at 1-1 on Schuster. Here's the 1-1. Strike 2. DeChemin has not allowed any runs. She's only given up 2 hits. Here's the 1-2 on the way. And that's going to be a fair ball down the left field line. But Schuster will remain at first. And now here's the pitcher for the Bulldogs, Taylor Campbell, taking her first at bat in game 2. Campbell played second back in game 1. Haley Holmes is on deck. Campbell takes a strike on the outside corner. One out here in the second. 0-1 on Campbell. Campbell with a little flare to right. That's going to drop for a base hit. But the throw to second, that's going to get away. And the Bulldogs will have runners at first and second as the Chippewas seem to be struggling a little with their defense. As you can see, the umpire brush the dirt off the base. As here is Haley Holmes, the junior from Elkhart, Indiana. First pitch to Holmes as she hits a high pop-up. That'll be caught by Obert for out number 2. And we are now at the bottom of the lineup. As here is Sadie. Sadie's playing right field for Adrian College. As she takes the ball inside. Count is now 2-0. Elizabeth Grady is on deck if Sadie shall reach. Here's the 2-0. Outside, 3 balls and no strikes. That's in there for a strike. Now the 3-1. Little chopper, it's going to go foul. Count is now full at 3-2. Runners at first and second with 2 outs for the Bulldogs. Now the 3-2. And that is going to drop in. She has to hurry. And they got her at first. As that's a good play made by Melanie Hall at second to end the inning. Bulldogs threaten but do not score as the Chippewas lead 9-0 going into the third. We'll be right back. This is the home of Adrian College Sports.
There's so many firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for
And we are back as now we're at the top of the third inning. Chippewas lead 9-0 here at Adrian here in Game 2 of this doubleheader series. As here is Brenna Simmons, who had a 3-run home run back in the first. As she will take her second at bat in Game 2. First pitch from Campbell. Breaking ball in there on the corner for strike one. Oh and 1. Look out. A little high and inside. Count is even at a ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1. There's a drive to right field, going back, and it is off the wall. And she's going to go all the way to third, and she'll make it, sliding. A triple for Brenna Simmons. As the Chippewas will have a runner at third to start the third. Showing bunt, it's going to go foul. Here's the 0-1. And Covelli hits one to center. That's going to be caught by Gomblowski. Runner will tag. And Simmons will score. Now it's 10-0 Chippewas on a sacrifice fly RBI by Skylar Covelli. That'll bring up Megan Giorgi. Giorgi taking her third at bat. She took her first and the second, and that's going to drop for a base hit. As I was saying, all three of her at bats have all been in order of the innings. Her first one the first, her second in the second, and her third in the third. Now here's Daniela Duchemin. She'll take a strike on the outside corner from Campbell. 1 out here in the third inning. This is Game 2 of this doubleheader series between the Chippewas and the Bulldogs. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. It's now 10-0, and it's only the third inning. Here's the 0-2. And a little tapper, and that's going to be an infield base hit for DeChemin. So here's Ashley Goodhue. And so the Chippewas have scored in every inning so far here in Game 2. First pitch to Goodhue. That's way outside, ball 1. Now the 1-0. Goodhue swings, and it's a high pop fly. That'll be caught by Haley Holmes for out number 2. As you could hear some people in the crowd saying, good job, good catch, Halo. So here's Lillian Obert. Runners at first and second, 2 outs here in the third. That's ball 1. Ball 1 on Obert. One and 0 from Campbell. Obert swings and misses, but it gets away from Sneed. And both runners will advance to third and second. Here's the 1-1 to Obert. Ball 2. Two balls and a strike on Lillian Obert. If she reaches, Melanie Hall waits her turn on deck, the 2-1. And that's going to be a base hit to center. And 2 more runs are going to score for the Chippewas. It's now 12-0. A 2 RBI single for Lillian Obert. And the Chippewas have 12 runs on 12 hits. Here's Melanie Hall. First pitch from Campbell. Hall swings and misses. That's strike 1. Oh and 1 on Hall. Here's the pitch from Campbell. Hall has a base hit to left field as she keeps this inning going with a single. Now next to bat is J.C. Hance. Oh, wait, no, it looks like they're getting a pinch hitter. Or excuse me, that's Bryn Cole who's batting. J.C. Hance bats after Cole. Runners at first and second, 2 outs here in the third. That's outside. Now the 2-0 from Campbell. That's low and inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Now the 3-0. In there as Campbell finds the zone. As that's strike one. Now the 3-1. That's in there for strike two on Bryn Cole. As Campbell, after falling behind on the count, has filled it up with 2 strikes. Now the 3-2 to Cole. Ground ball to third. Doney's got it to Holmes. And that'll end the inning. But the Chippewas score 3 more runs as they now lead 12-0 on 13 hits. As we now go to the bottom of the third inning. This is the home of Adrian College Sports. And we are back here at the bottom of the third inning as the Chippewas lead 12-0 here at Adrian. But also going on over at, meanwhile at Nicolay, the men's club baseball leads 13-2 as they actually just won it 13-2 over Western Michigan. As that is strike one to Elizabeth Grady. Oh and 1. That's inside. The count is even at a ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1 to Grady. High and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Grady is a freshman from Louisville, Kentucky. Here's the 2-1. That's ball 3. Chippewas lead 12-0 as the Bulldogs have yet to score. Grady hits one to left. That'll go foul out of play. Count is full at 3-2. Here's the 3-2 to Grady. Ball 4 as she'll be aboard with a walk to start the bottom of the third. And that's now going to bring up Glombowski. First pitch to Glombowski. And the catcher tried to throw to first and it got away. Grady's rounding second. She's on her way to third. And she will get there. As Cole tried to throw to first, but it got away as Grady advanced to second and went all the way to third. Here's the 1-0. There's a grounder. That's a base hit to left field. Coming in to score is Grady, and she'll make it. And she makes sure to touch the plate. As that's going to be an RBI single by Lita Glombowski as the Bulldogs get on the board. So here's Caitlin Sneed. First pitch to Sneed. Now throw back to first. One and 0 on Sneed. As Glombowski is at first. The 1-0. Sneed hits a grounder to third. They'll throw to second. And it'll be not in time as the ball was dropped by Hall. With still nobody out, the Bulldogs have runners at first and second. Here's Allie Bell. And they're going to get a pinch runner. As Alexis Hart-Butcher will come out to run for Sneed. Now listen to the fans. Let's go, Allie. First pitch to Bell. And that's going to... The Chippewas, again, seem to be struggling with their defense. Bell taking a few practice swings as Cole has a quick chat with Duchemin. As the Bulldogs have runners at first and second, still nobody out as they scored in a run on an RBI single by Lita Glombowski. Here's the 1-0. Bell swings and misses. The count is even at 1-1. One ball, one strike. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2-1. Kayla Doney waits her turn on deck. She will be next. Unless if a triple play happens. Now the 2-1. 3-1, and Duchemin's a pitch away from loading the bases. Three and 1 to Bell. Bell hits it foul. Now the count is full at 3-2. Three and 2 on Allie Bell, the left fielder for the Bulldogs. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a high pop fly, foul territory. Will it stay in play? It does not. As Bell stays alive. Still 3 and 2 on Bell. Runners at first and second. Again, the pitch. Grounder to third. They'll tag one. They'll throw to first for the double play. Here's Kayla Doney. But Butcher will be at second. She is pinch running for Sneed. But just like that, we have 2 outs. The pitch to Doney. On the outside corner for strike 1. 2 outs. 0-1. Doney hits a base hit to left center. Butcher is rounding third, and she's going to come in to score. That'll be an RBI single for Kayla Doney. Now next up is Schuster. It's now 12-2. First pitch to Schuster. Inside corner for a strike. Oh and 1. Here's a fly ball to center field, and Corelli will make the catch for out number 3. But the Bulldogs score 2 runs on a couple of RBI singles, but the Chippewas still have the lead 12-2 as we go to the 4th inning. This is the home of Adrian College Sports.
There's so many firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends.
Chippewas 12 and the Bulldogs 2 as we now go to the 4th inning. As Campbell gets back to work, first pitch is a ground ball. That's going to roll foul. As J.C. Hance will lead things off here in the 4th. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Swing and another ground ball foul as Campbell's ahead on the count, 0-2. Oh and 2. Here's a little flare toward the center, and that's going to be caught on a diving play by Schuster for the first out. As she took a little tumble but was able to hold on to it. One up, one down here in the top of the 4th. Now here's Brenna Simmons. Simmons hits one to left, and that'll be caught by Bell. 2 up, 2 down. As Simmons flies out the opposite way. Here's Skylar Cavelli. We're now back at the top of the lineup for the Chippewas. First pitch to her That's outside from Campbell. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's a high fly ball to right center, and that'll be caught. That'll be caught by Sadie to end it. And that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Taylor Campbell, her first one in game 2. So the Chippewas have scored in every inning except this one as we go to the bottom of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. Bulldogs coming up to bat right after this.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
We are back now as we're at the bottom of the 4th inning. Chippewas lead 12-2 as Taylor Campbell, who pitched her first 1-2-3 inning here in game 2, will now bat first here in the bottom of the 4th. What a coincidence that is. As Daniela Duchemin gets back to work as it's a slow roller to third. Long throw by Obert. One pitch, one out here in the bottom of the 4th. As here's Haley Holmes. Holmes takes a couple of practice swings before getting into the box. First pitch to Holmes. Holmes popped out back in the second. This is only her second at bat here in game 2. Here's the 1-0. Holmes taps it foul. Sadie waits her turn on deck. One out, nobody on. The 1-1. On the outside corner for strike 2. One and two, the count on Holmes. Duchemin gets set, the 1-2. That is inside. Just a little inside is Duchemin. The expression on her face, she thought she had her looking. Only one out in the bottom of the 4th. Chippewas lead 12-2, the 2-2 pitch. That's high and outside. Count now full on Holmes. Now the 3-2. Holmes hits one to left center, and that's going to drop for a base hit. As Cavelli tried to dive for it but couldn't make the catch. And Holmes will make it to second with a double. Now here's Sadie, who's taken her second at bat in game 2. Little chopper, that's going to go foul. Haley Holmes is at second with one out here in the bottom of the fourth. And Elizabeth Grady waits her turn on deck. She will be next. Unless if a double play happens. Now the 0-1. That's just a little outside, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. One and one. Sadie swings, it's a grounder to short, and the ball is dropped by Hance. Going to third is Holmes, and she'll make it sliding. And we're back at the top of the lineup as Elizabeth Grady will take her third at bat with runners at the corners with only one out. Glombowski is on deck. First pitch to Grady. Swing and a foul and out of play. Oh and 1 on Grady. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And the runner's going. And that'll be a stolen base for Sadie. As Hall was off the bag. Here's the 1-1. Grady hits a ground ball foul down the third base line. So now Adrian College has runners both in scoring position. Here's the 1-2. Grady hits one to left center field, and that'll get by Simmons. Holmes comes in to score. Sadie is rounding third, and she's going to score. An RBI double by Elizabeth Grady. So now here comes Lita Glombowski. One of our three seniors of the Adrian College Club softball team. Glombowski takes a strike. Grady taking a big lead off from second. Here's the 0-1. Grady again taking another good lead off. But gets back to second after that pitch. 1-1 on Glombowski. Here's the pitch. Glombowski hits one to center, and that'll get over Cavelli. And Grady is rounding third. She's going to try to score, and she's in there. And that's an RBI double for Lita Glombowski. Still only one out. As the Bulldogs now have 11 hits in Game 2. As now Caitlin Sneed, the catcher, will bat in a moment as the home plate umpire brushes the dirt off the plate. Here's Caitlin Sneed as she'll bat with Glombowski at second. Allie Bell waits her turn on deck. First pitch is way outside by DeChemin. One and 0. Sneed As you could see the smile on her face. One and one on Caitlin Sneed. With one out, here's the pitch. And she swings and misses. A ball and 2 strikes now on the Bulldog catcher. Now the 1-2. Sneed hits a high pop fly, and that'll be caught by Melanie Hall for out number 2. Here comes Allie Bell, as she'll bat with 2 outs, as she'll now try to pick up Glombowski at second. And if she reaches, Kayla Doney waits her turn on deck. First pitch to Bell. Bell swings at the first pitch, hits a high pop-up, and that'll be caught by Hantz to end the inning. But the Bulldogs get 3 more runs on 2 RBI doubles coming from Grady and Glombowski, as we will now go to the 5th inning. But the Chippewas still have the lead 12-5 here at Adrian. This is the home of Adrian College.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
Here we go now at the top of the 5th inning, as Taylor Campbell will get ready to get back to work on the mound. As she'll face Megan Georgi, and then Danielle Duchemin and Ashley Goodhue to start the 5th inning. As the count is 0-1 on Georgi. Here's the 1-0 from Campbell. Here's a fly ball into center, left center, and Glombowski makes the catch for out number 1 here in the 5th. Here comes Daniela Duchemin. Here's a fly ball into right center, and that's going to get down for a base hit. And it looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter. One out here in the 5th. going to get a mound visit. That's ball one in the dirt. One and 0 now. So Eve Hartman will pinch hit for Ashley Goodhue. As she hits one to left, that'll drop foul. Hartman is a junior from South Elgin, Illinois. One and one on Hartman. And that is right off the glove of Campbell. As Eve Hartman will have a pinch hit single. Now here's Melanie Hall. As she'll bat with runners at first and second. Excuse me, Lillian Obert. And it looked like Hall thought it was her turn, but she will bat after Obert as there's a high pop-up. And that will be caught by Grady for out number 2. So now it's Melanie Hall's turn to bat, as she'll be up with 2 outs and 2 on. First pitch to Hall. That's low and outside, ball 1 from Campbell. Two on, 2 out, 1 and 0. Swing and a miss on the slow breaking ball. A ball and a strike on Hall. And if she reaches, the catcher Bryn Cole waits her turn on deck. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball foul. That'll be picked up by the third base coach. So that'll be a ball and 2 strikes on Hall. Top of the 5th. Now the 1-2 pitch to Hall. That's high and outside. 2 balls and a strike. As the count is evened up. Here's the 2-2. Hall just got a piece of that one, as this at-bat stays alive. Again, the 2-2 pitch. And a little flare. That's going to drop into right for a base hit. And the runner will try to score, and she'll make it. It's now 13-5. So the Chippewas have scored in every inning now except the 4th. As now they have runners at the corners with 2 outs, with Bryn Cole coming up to bat. Two outs, runners at the corners. Cole takes a strike on the outside corner and at the top of the box. 2 outs, top of the 5th. Chippewas lead 13-5. And that's going to get away from Sneed. And Hartman's going to score. as she comes home on a wild pitch. It's now, make it now 14-5 Chippewas. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a high fly ball to left center. That'll be caught by Glombowski for out number 3. But the Chippewas get 2 more runs as they have 16 hits today. As we will now go to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll be right back right after this.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
Chippewas lead 14-5. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, Kayla Doney will lead things off for Adrian College. As Daniela DeChemin will get back to work. First pitch to Doney. She swings at the first pitch, hits a grounder to short. And no, that's going to get away from Hance. And they're going to call that a defensive error on the Chippewas as Doney will be aboard. Here's Jocelyn Schuster. First pitch to Schuster. That's high and outside for ball 1. Campbell waits her turn on deck. 1-0. That's just a little outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Schuster. Now the 2-0. Swing and a high towering fly ball to left. Simmons will make the catch. As that was hit deep, but not deep enough as we have 1 out. So here's Campbell, as she'll bat with 1 out and 1 on. First pitch to Campbell. That's low and inside, ball 1. And Haley Holmes is on deck. Here's the 1-0. Campbell with a tapper right back to the mound. And they'll get 1 out at first. That'll be the 2nd out in the bottom of the 5th. So here's Haley Holmes, who had a double back in the 4th and scored. This will be her 3rd at-bat here in Game 2. That's way outside, ball 1. as Holmes will try to pick up Doney at second. And if Holmes reaches, Sadie waits her turn on deck. That's low and in the dirt, blocked by Cole. Two balls and no strikes on Holmes. Here's the pitch. Holmes swings and it's a high pop fly. And we got a little collision that happened in the outfield grass as Doney will come in and score. As Hansen and Hall had looks like there was a miscommunication as the ball was dropped. Now here's Sadie. First pitch to her is ball one, as Holmes is on base for the second time. Here's the 1-0. Here's a fly ball to left center. And that's going to be caught by Simmons to end the inning. But the Bulldogs get one more run. But the Chippewas lead 14-6 as we go to the sixth inning. Or wait a minute, hold on one second. And it looks like they have called this a game, as the Chippewas will win it 14-6 as they will sweep the Bulldogs in this doubleheader series, as they have called the mercy rule. But what a job today by Daniela Duchemin, as she holds the Bulldogs to 16 runs. But what a game it has been. What a doubleheader series it's been for the Chippewas. As you can see, Haley Holmes and Alexis Butcher give the home plate umpire some handshakes. But overall, it's been a good game today as the Chippewas sweep the Bulldogs. But a good effort from Adrian College, as they also scored a lot of runs. But today here in game two, Duchemin will get the win, as I believe she pitched both games too, as she gets the win for both games. Holmes takes the loss in game one. Campbell takes the loss in game two. But your score here in game two: Chippewas 14, Bulldogs 6. Keegan Wade was your director today. I am Forrest Vernier from Adrian College Television, from the campus of Adrian College. Thank you very much for listening and watching our broadcast. And as always, go in love and peace.